Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Top of the morning. Today is April the 28th. Only 2 games in the NBA for today. We'll go through a quick recap of the 4 games we had yesterday, see what Jackson likes for today, and then we will get on with our day. So let's do just that, man. Jump right into it for today. Real quick recap of yesterday. I did end up going 2-1. Detroit money line was a bummer. It's a lot of different ways you can shape it. I'm not here to really talk about the ifs and the ands and the late file or whatever, but they didn't get the job done, and they should have, in my opinion. Just kind of milking the clock late, but it is what it is. We lose Detroit. Boston minus 6.5 was a winner. Austin Reeves under his 4.5 assists was a winner as well. These are the plays that we talked about on the show yesterday. So two in one day yesterday. We managed to scrape some more profit as we have been doing, and hopefully we can keep that going. Long list of things that I would have played yesterday. I think it was 9 things on that list. They went 5 and 4. So the Miles Turner under his rebounds would have won. The full game under between the Pacers and the Bucks would have lost. Jason Tatum double was a winner. Boston first half was a winner. And there was a couple more that were losers. I can't remember exactly what they were, but overall would have been a profitable day if you just played everything. And 2-1 day for myself yesterday. So, yeah, that's the quick recap for yesterday. Let's see who is here. Zan says, I know when my boy Chris had the suit and tie on yesterday, he meant business. Yeah. I always mean business. I don't care what I got on. I'm trying to win every bet that I place for sure. Let's jump into it for today. So we'll start off with Jackson. Well, actually, start off with Playback. So I mentioned this the other day, and I'm just going to keep shouting it out before we start the show. I am officially on Playback now, so catch me on Playback. I'm not sure when I'll do another live stream, but we had some really good vibes. It was some really good betting. We won the bet that we placed on Saturday, and I'll probably end up doing another game soon. So you can use the link in the description of the video and sign up for Playback and make sure you're part of the room. It's kind of like being subscribed, so that way you know when I go live. Use that link in the description. All right, now let's jump in to see what Jackson likes. Jackson says, so the prompt. So yesterday, Jackson gave out 2 plays again. We're doing 2 plays a day. Jackson liked the under between, let's see. Oh, it was the under between the Celtics and the Magic, which was a loser. And then Jackson also liked Gabe Vincent under his assist prop yesterday, which I got to go back and check. I feel like I didn't even see Gabe Vincent in the game. So got to go back and check to see if Gabe Vincent even got to an assist yesterday. Let me just double check that. I forgot to do that this morning. I do like to kind of track what Jackson is liking. Let's see. Gabe Vincent did see the floor. He did finish with no assists yesterday. 13 minutes, no assists. So that was a winner. So 1-1 day for Jackson yesterday. The prompt for today is going to be, what is the best player prop under prop bet, and then also the best under in today's NBA game. Jackson actually likes Steph Curry under his 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It says that he's averaged 36.45 combined points, rebounds, and assists in his last 20 games, falling below this line in 55% of those games. The Rockets ranked 10th in defensive versus position. Against the Rockets this season, he's averaging 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined, staying under 66.67% of the games. At home, he's averaged 33.47 combined points, rebounds, and assists this season, further supporting the under. So take Steph Curry under his 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's a tough one. I know he had 54 points, rebounds, and assists in his last game. So really tough to want to fade Steph, especially when he's the only offense. But if Jimmy Butler comes back and plays today, maybe potential. Also, Jackson likes the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami Heat to go under 210. It says the Cavaliers and Heat have played at a slow pace in the series. Game 3 ending 94-93 for Cleveland, 187 total points, which the Game 3 in that low? I feel like Game 3 did not end that low. Let me just double check that. I think, it definitely didn't end that low. It ended low. It ended that low. Game 3 was actually 124-127, 124-87. Miami actually got smoked in Game 3. So defensive strength, that's not right. Cleveland does rank number 1 in defensive efficiency, while Miami is allowed just 110 points per game in their last 5 contests. It talks about playoff intensity and the value of the line at 210.5. So jaXon likes under, and jaXon likes under for the full game, and jaXon also likes Steph Curry under on his points, rebounds, and assists for today. So 2 looks from jaXon today. We'll see how they end up going. All right, let's see. This should be a pretty quick show today. So Cavs and Heat is the game that we have on the board. The first game that we have on the board for today. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 8.5-point dogs. Let me just double check the line real quick. They were 8.5-point dogs when I looked at it. Yeah, 8.5, 9. Total is sitting at 210. It looks like these markets open with the Cavs laying 9, so a little bit of money coming in on the Miami Heat. And then the total opened 210.5, and it's down to 209.5 on most books. But 209, it looks 210 is actually the consensus right now. So when I'm looking back at the game that happened on Saturday between these two teams, the first thing that stands out to me is the thing that's been standing out to me the most is that the Cleveland Cavaliers have not had any problem scoring the basketball against the Miami Heat. Miami in a desperation spot, down 0-2 at home, come into the game and give up 33 points in the first quarter. They give up 29 in the second quarter, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are comfortably ahead at halftime. It's 62-42 at halftime. Third quarter, they still end up losing the quarter, and then fourth quarter, the Cleveland Cavaliers kept their foot on the Miami Heat's neck, ended up outscoring them 36-23. Now, there were some Tyler Hero did report after the game that they're not going to go out like that. I don't know how they're going out there because it just hasn't been good for the Miami Heat. The Cleveland Cavaliers offense, they did finish the season, I think, the number 1 rated offensive team in the NBA. I did not think that their offense would look that good, especially without Darius Garland. Now you're asking them to lay, a little. I mean, it's still a hefty number. 9 is a hefty number. I think they were laying 4.5, 5? Yeah, 4.5 in that last game because Darius Garland got ruled out. He is on the injury report today, listed as questionable. I doubt that he plays after them, playing so well in that last game, but we'll see how that goes. We shall see how that goes. As far as betting the game, I really want to take Miami. I really think that they are going to try to keep it close, but I just don't have enough evidence to want to take the points here, man. Like, they really haven't been able to stop Cleveland. Cleveland came into the game with a 120 plus offensive rating and get from game 1 and game 2, and we saw the same thing in game 3. 121, 121, and 124 in the 3 games that they've played so far. Miami struggled in game 1 with just 100 points. In game 2, they got to 112, and then last night, in game 3, they got to 87. So I don't really see too much rhyme or reason to want to take the Miami Heat. I think just go ahead and start your vacation tonight. I don't think that they're going to win the game. I think Cleveland will win. Do they cover? I'm guessing that they will. I think about the Miami Heat and I think about dogs, but just really haven't seen it. Really have not seen it, especially on the defensive end, which is where Miami typically lay their hat. As far as player props, real quick. As far as player props go, I talked about one that I really liked in game 3. I didn't bet it, kind of kicking myself for not, and that would be Davion Mitchell. This is Outlier. There's a 7-day free link trial in the description of the video if you're interested. Davion Mitchell points and assists, man. Dude just continues to perform. This is every game in the playoffs so far. These are the 2 play-in games. These are the 3 games against Cleveland so far, 27, 24, 21. You can get his points and assists at 18.5. So the book's still kind of sliding him. The minutes, of course, are there. You can see that he's played 33 plus minutes in all 5 of the games since the regular season ended. I will be betting on Davion Mitchell. You got some insight down here as well. He's exceeded 17.5 points and assists in 7 of his last 8 games at home, averaging 19.6. So a little bit of value on this number for Davion Mitchell. I would probably bet on Davion Mitchell if I'm betting on the player prop, knowing that he's going to be out there for his defensive tenacity on, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland if he does play. And he also just helps the offense a lot as well. So we shall see. I kind of want to bet on Miami, either plus the points. As far as the total goes, I do think it's a little bit more of I think I have to go under. As I think closeout games can be hard, even though we've seen the Cleveland Cavaliers get absolutely do whatever they wanted to do to this Miami Heat team. I just feel like one of these games, Cleveland's they're going to struggle to shoot the basketball. We haven't seen it yet, but I do think that they could potentially struggle to score the basketball. So I'll lean under Under the 210.5, as difficult as that is to bet with the way that Miami Heat has been playing defense. And I'll also lean Miami plus the 9. Davion Mitchell up and over 18.5 points and assists, or 17.5 points and assists. What up, Marquise? He says he had the Lakers money line. Yeah, I stayed off that. Just the Austin Reeves play for me. What up, Slime? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Onk says good morning. Took Ty Jerome 15 points and Mitchell 26 points. Okay. Good morning, Jose. G421 says what's up. Davion Mitchell gets points got boosted ASAP. I mean, as they should have, though. I mean, he's been scoring the basketball. Every game so far, he's gone up and over in the playoffs. And while it seems easy, I mean, sometimes you can go back to the thing that worked for you in the last game, right? Tariq says, good morning, Chris. Strus had Hero the entire game and still made it rain. Yeah, Cleveland looks like a well-oiled machine. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Miami Heat don't look like they're putting up a lot of resistance. We'll learn a lot about Cleveland in the second round, in my opinion. Like, is Miami this bad defensively, or is Cleveland just this good offensively? We will figure that out here soon. All right, let's push over to the next game. We got the Rockets and the Warriors. It looks like this line kind of been all over the place. So it looks like it opened with it did open with the Warriors laying 3.5, I think is where the total was and still is. Now, so the total opened 203. It actually went down to 199, and now it's back up to 201. 201.5, it looks like it's the consensus with the Rockets laying 3.5 points. So we got to start the handicap looking at the injury report here, which Jimmy Butler is on it. So Jimmy Butler is on it. He's listed as questionable after not playing in the last game. Pretty quick turnaround for the Warriors. They just played on Saturday night. So they're up 2-1 in the series now. I'm going through and I'm looking at this one. The thing that jumps out to me, whether Jimmy plays or not, is just the offensive efficiency for both teams. When LJ was on the show on Saturday, he talked about how he was going to play the under 204.5. I said that I was going to wait to see what happened with Jimmy, and then I probably would jump in on the total as well. And it was a strong trends. I think I had like some 85% trends on the under, based on first game going under, second game going under. Typically, third game goes under as well. I just don't see a lot of offensive adjustments. When we think about pace, both of these teams play pretty slow. We think about defense, both of these teams play pretty slow. I honestly think the only way that this one goes up and over is if one of the teams actually turns the ball over a lot, because both of these teams want to play slow. Neither team really gets out and running transition. Both teams are good in transition defense. So unless they're, shooting a three-point shot really, really well, which I think both teams can guard the three-point line really well, I kind of think we continue to see unders. Now, full game under is, I guess it shouldn't be scary, but it does kind of still scare me a little bit. Game 3 did go under, so all 3 of the games have gone under. We saw just 197 points in game 3. But the thing that sticks out to me the most here is actually the first quarter under. We've just seen very, very slow starts, and I wouldn't anticipate another fast start. We've seen the scoring typically pick up in the third quarter. So I'm looking at the numbers last night, I'm looking at the numbers when I'm handicapping this game. And game 1 finished 180 points. Game 2 finished 203 points. Game 3 finished 197. And then we got a total of 201.5. And I think if Jimmy comes back, that will impact the total just a tad bit. Golden State Warriors offense will be a little bit better. Their defense will be a little bit better. So they're probably a better one in that spot. And looking at the 3.5, I think I couldn't talk anybody off. But the first quarter specifically, the total is 49.5 points right now. And if you go back and look at the first quarter, all of them have started very, very slow. The Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets in game 1 in Houston scored 39 points in the first quarter. Game 2 in Houston saw 46 points. Game 3 in Golden State saw 40 points. I kind of feel like we continue to see the games just very, very slow from the beginning. I like the first quarter. I think the longer the series goes on, the more creative you have to be with your bets, because these lines just get sharper. I like the first quarter under 49.5. You can get that on pretty much all the books. I haven't played it quite yet, but that's the way I'm thinking about this one. As far as player props, I didn't look too deeply into anything. I've been talking about fading Jalen Green. He did have another terrible game. So if you've been betting his under every single time, then you are 2-1 after that 38-point explosion in game 2. I think Alfred Sengun is going to be neutralized by Draymond for the most part. I think if I'm betting on Houston, a Houston player is probably somebody like Fred VanVleet, hoping that he can get hot, somebody that has a lot of usage. I don't think the books have caught up with his numbers quite yet. But yeah, I think I'd be betting on Fred VanVleet to go up and over probably his points prop. But it's ugly, man. This is really, really ugly. Also, I couldn't talk anybody off. People, potentially wanting to look at Jabari Smith Jr. Jabari Smith Jr. had 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks in that last game. And I kind of feel like Udoka needs him to, Udoka needs him to contribute offensively, because the starters can really just be out there kind of scrubbing it up. You're not going to get that much offense from Amen Thompson, more so a defense. But Jabari Smith Jr., I feel like he can play defense, move his feet as well. So Jabari Smith Jr., points plus rebounds, I think could be potentially be something to look at. On the Warriors side of things, it's really difficult to handicap without knowing the status of Jimmy Butler and if he's going to make his return in today's game. So I don't really have anything. I think if you're looking for a lotto, maybe you play Draymond Green threes. It seems like Houston's just leaving them open. So for him to hit 2 or 3 threes is something that's going to be on that's absolutely possible. He is 0 for 4. He went 0 for 4 from the 3-point line in game 3. And I want to say in game 2, he didn't shoot the 3-point shot well either. Let me just look at that real quick. He shot 2 for 6. So not sure what his 3-point prop is, but I know Draymond still has the potential to knock him down. So if I'm sprinkling on something, some kind of lottery slip, then I think Draymond threes. But yeah, I think Jabari Smith Jr. points plus rebounds, points plus rebounds would potentially be a good look in this game. And I like first quarter under. I think that's my favorite look. Under 49.5 for the first quarter under. All right, quick thoughts and comments on this one. Then we'll get to a quick recap and get off of here. JFX says first quarter spread for the game. Am I crazy? Anyone else running it back? I'm not sure which first quarter you're talking about. Good morning, Macho. Appreciate you for tapping in. JFX says edit Rockets first quarter spread. So thinking that the Rockets potentially win the first quarter in this game. I think they won the first quarter in the second game. Yeah, they did win the first quarter in game 3. 22-18. And then their offense is just not sustainable, in my opinion. The Rockets' offense is not good, man. It's one of the worst. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Orlando Magic. They just play really, really slow. If they can't win the rebounding battle, which they've been winning the rebounding battle, still been losing the game. So G Harris says good morning. What up, G Harris? What up, LJ? Says what up, Chris? Rockets first quarter best bet. Why stop now? So thinking the Rockets start early. Press conference says, do you have a side? Nah, I would think that. First of all, I want to know if Jimmy Butler playing before I'm betting the side press conference. If Jimmy Butler plays, I do think the Warriors can win this game by 4. But I would want to know his status. Would definitely want to know his status. Appreciate you for tuning in, Justin. Malik says, I'm going back to listen to the show. Appreciate the look on Tatum double. Yeah, Tatum had 9 boards at halftime yesterday. Hopefully people got in. Good morning, Kirk. Appreciate you for tapping in as well. Yeah, those are my quick thoughts. Only 2 games. We would have had 3 games today, but the Grizzlies, couldn't make it to a game 4. I'm to a game 5, so that would have been scheduled today as well. Brian says, "What up, Chris? I want the Rockets here. I got them to win the series at plus 155 and plus 300. I would want the Rockets as well if I had that. But yeah, I just think that their offense is not good enough. Steve Kerr got enough, and the Warriors got enough. I think." To definitely to win this series. I just don't trust, and I've been talking about this all along. Don't trust the Rockets offense, especially when it comes down to them being able to score the ball late in games. It's just not something that I want to put my money on. All right, so real quick recap. I think I need to add. Let's go through and add 2. If I'm betting that Miami game, I kind of want to take Miami. I kind of want to take under. But I doubt I end up playing anything in that game. If I do, it'll be Davion Mitchell over his 18.5 points and assists. And then I just told you guys why I like the Houston to Golden State first quarter under 49.5. I do like that. So, and if I was adding anything else, it'd be Jabari Smith Jr. His points plus assists would probably be, points plus rebounds. I'm not taking anybody to get assists for the Rockets because they can't score. But Jabari Smith, let's see if we have lines for Jabari. Jabari Smith points are 8.5. 8.5 for Jabari Smith. His points plus rebounds are listed at 14.5 for Jabari Smith Jr. So that would be something that I would consider adding. I do think that they'll need his offense. 18.5. Did I say 18.5 or 14.5? I think I said 14.5. Yeah, 14.5 on DraftKings is the best number right now. And that's points plus rebounds. Points plus rebounds for Jabari Smith Jr. But I don't have any bets for today yet. We'll see if I end up adding anything. If I do, use that link in the description if you want the plays that I make. When I make them, they'll be sent to you via email. Using that link, and check the resources out as always. jaXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam. And then I talked about when I did the playback, I went behind the scenes a little bit with cleaning the glass and how I use that as a resource. And then there's some SDQL resources, Give Me the Dog and Killer Sports on here as well that I'm not affiliated with at all. But yeah, check them out, man. Best of luck on your action for today. If you do me a favor, hit the like button, share the show if you could. Those things are helpful. If you could take a second to do that. Appreciate you all for tapping in. I will catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy your Monday, man.